Alright, boys and girls, another quick update from Cambridge, Ontario. Hold on, a lot of noise. So basically today is Thursday, right? Now I really feel like going back to work, so been beating about around the bush, about the New York City bush and then Cambridge bush. So time to go book some loads to support my lavish lifestyle. Well, of course I'm kidding, it's not that lavish. I don't own any mansions. I have holes in my tarps. Speaking about tarps, these guys, I dropped off the tarps last week, right after I came from Texas. And these guys, you know, they never call you. I leave them my phone number, I give them my business card. They never call you. Just like Kenworth, all truck shops, you ask them, please call me when the truck is ready, when my tops are ready. Nothing. So I try to call them myself. And they have, these guys over here, they have two buildings. One is like the office and the store where they sell tarps and chains and stuff like that. And the other store is repair, where they build these sliding rolling systems. And they make tarps, they fix tarps, right? And those guys never pick up the phone. There's nobody ever in the office over there in that repair building. So today I checked out of my hotel. I spent 2 nights in Quality Inn in Kitchener. Surprisingly a pretty decent hotel, very fast Wi-Fi, you know. Nowadays I always look at the reviews, like at the grade, you know, like how many points. And this one was like very good. I forgot, 5.7 out of 10 or something like that. Like it was high at the top of the list. So it was 115 bucks Canadian, so roughly 100 US, which is expensive for local area, but it was a nice hotel. But anyway, so Wednesday I went to the bank. I said I need 1475 US and 1305 Canadian. They gave me cash, and that's my cost for the next year for this beauty over here. See, this is my new cap card. Looks like this. Looks just like a sheet of paper printed on a home printer with all my weights. And ask them, like 5 states in US allow unlimited weight, right? And I talked to them. I said, like New York, for example, my last year cap card shows 150,000 pounds, and now I have 8 axles, right? I figured might as well do like at least 160. And I asked him, I said, can you increase, whenever it says unlimited on your little form that shows maximum weights, I said, like these 5 states, I think it was Iowa, right? Iowa, New York, and then a bunch of others, but just 5. I said, give me like 160. And then she calls me back. She says, well, no, I cannot do it on the computer. I called the head office in Toronto, like the head office for this program, IRP office. And they said they can only go 10% above the maximum weight in the nearby states, you know? And so they cannot do unlimited, you know, like she cannot just put, like her computer does not allow her to type unlimited, and it must be numbers, you know, like weird system. But and she says, well, my boss says if you do 160 for New York, you won't be able to do that from Ontario because Pennsylvania is 80,000 pounds. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, what are you guys like smoking, you know? Like, I said, you realize this is my trade name says SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul, right? So I do heavy haul, most of my loads with permits. If the maximum weight for Pennsylvania is 80,000, that does not mean that I'm only limited to 80,000. I said, come on. But basically, just once again, people that give you the cap card have no clue how the system works, you know, like it's amazing. Like I know more about it than them, you know. No, but honestly, I said, you realize it's oversized permits, right? All my loads are by permits. So basically for me, what's important is I must be registered for the maximum available weight in this state. Because I said, if I'm not registered for the maximum weight and I try to haul oversized, overweight load, I will get a ticket. And I said, I'll give you an example. I said, Oklahoma now is 90,000 pounds, right? And when I worked for this previous company, I remember I was going through Oklahoma, and my cab card, the old one, like given by the company, showed the old weight in Oklahoma was 80,000, right? And I was stopped because I had an oversized load. The guy quickly checked specifically that part where the weight for Oklahoma was listed, and he says that's not correct anymore. The highest now is 90,000. You have to pay us, I forget, I think it was like $145 US or $245, but he would not let me leave until I got the boss on the phone, and he paid with a Visa over the phone, because I said, I'm not paying myself. Like, it's your plates, your insurance, your load, right? And that's the thing. So you gotta be, when you do oversized, overweight permits, in order to get the permit, you must have your cab card showing maximum weight, you know? And that's what I was trying to say. But I said, but at least you give me 150, just like I had before. She says, yes. And she gave me the phone number. She says, in case some cop gives you a hard time, she says, call this number at the head office, and they can explain to them why the weights are like this. But basically, yeah, so at least the good thing is that because now I was able to use my actual miles or kilometers that I ran, so my fee is smaller, right? Before it was much higher. So just that's what I paid, 1301 Canadian, which is about $1,000 US, and 1472 I gave it 1475. So basically 2,500 bucks US, you know, a year. That's pretty decent. And so she gave me a sticker, just like what we have with you know, cars over here in Ontario. So she gives me the sticker, you see, and it shows September 19. So that means that my plate, because that's why I didn't want to leave until I get this done, you know, because if I go somewhere like Texas and I'm stuck there and my current sticker expires September 30th, you know, I'll be in trouble. So always make sure that, you know, you check the expiry date of your cab card, your insurance, you know, stuff like that. So that just, now it's my responsibility, right? Whereas before, when I worked for this premium guys, like, they would call me, hey, can you check your annual permit? Oh yeah, and then yesterday I also did a big job, so I filled out the application for the enhanced Ontario permit. It was 700 bucks Canadian, much more expensive than a regular annual permit. But now if they approve it, which they should, because it's, you know, that's what they show in the schedule over there, like they allow you 4-axle truck, 4-axle trailer, closed group, right? So not a Stinger. Ontario does not care about Stingers and boosters. Just the truck like mine and the trailer like mine, 8 axles. Your gross is 71,000 kgs, which is 152,000. And I did send a couple of, and so yeah, so today Thursday, so I had an appointment at 9:30, so I just came back from Waterloo or Kitchener, where this IRP office is for the plates. So now I have this, I have my new cab card, which I just put in my binder, big binder, and I didn't hook up to the trailer yet. So, but today I'm starting in earnest to look at the load board. I checked this morning, there doesn't seem to be too much of interesting stuff over there, but I did send a couple of emails to guys, you know, because they posted loads, but the rate was pretty low, and I said, you know, with this weight and these dimensions, I can move this load for this much, you know. I sent them my price, but I definitely don't want to do anything cheap, you know. I'm a bit spoiled now by this last load, which paid a lot of money, and so yeah, so now I have in mind a number, and it's a number I like, you know, basically my minimum. I'm not gonna do any loads for like 2,000, 3,000, maybe even try 4,000, you know, because it costs a lot of money to operate my equipment. You know, I have premium almost brand new truck, right? Well, except now the bumper is shorter, but actually I like it, you know. I look at the picture, to heck with that beautification, you know, thing, all these panels. I'm gonna throw them out. If anybody wants them, let me know. So one is scratched, but the other one is pretty much brand new. But I want to get rid of them. Actually, this way it will be even easier. You know, when I open the hood in the morning, let's say to check my oil, so now I have this space on the driver's side, right, between the tire and the bumper. It's very easy to squeeze, you know, into the engine compartment, because before I had to turn, you know, even though I'm not like overweight by any serious margin, but it was tiny, like entry order. So now there's lots of room. It's easy to work on the engine. It's good for mechanics. I don't think any stuff will fly in there in winter, you know. If it does not work, then I'll just get some kind of a flexible, I don't know, like some kind of a rubber, you know, just hard rubber, and I just bolt it to the end of the bumper, just like a, you know, maybe a piece like this, just bolt it to the end of the bumper. But I do know, yeah, they make these bumpers, third-party bumpers. I don't know why Kenworth was not able to find them. I told them, I said I will pay for it, or just get me a new bumper with these with the sides, like a wraparound bumper. It's okay. I'll keep it like this. It's a work truck. It's not a show truck. And so another thing that happened is that the car, I'm changing the shifter, right? So I just got this Barton short throw shifter, and to make things easier, because I know it's very difficult to install. Like I watched some videos, but so instead of just getting the handle and that little bracket at the bottom, and that setup basically reuses parts of your stock shifter. So I got the whole assembly. I had like the lower piece and the handle, and then I got a new this little ball in here. It'll be different, like the one on top, like this one. I got a new one. So the new one will be kind of like satin look, all steel, and over here it'll have Mustang, you know, that logo, like the 3 stripes, you know. And this will be lower by about half an inch. I think the ball will be somewhere here, and this will give me, you know, crisper, firmer shifts, because right now it's kind of like what they call mushy, you know, like you have to move your hand, you know, like, I don't know, half a mile to go from, let's say, second to third. And then the next project with this car, I'll probably do a supercharger, which will give me about 50 or 60 horsepower more. There's superchargers for this 2017 3.7 liter V6, so it'll work very nice. It's very reliable, and pretty much the car will get the power of a GT without the cost of the GT, and the insurance will still be my insurance, because, you know, if you buy a GT, the insurance goes up because it's considered a sports car. So anyway, yeah, and the shifter is already shipped, so the permit has been ordered, the annual permit, right? So yesterday I sent them everything by UPS, but I still have my old one. So my old one is valid until I think like middle of October, you know. So this is not a renewal, right? Because I'm doing a different type. My previous one was a generic annual permit, maximum gross weight 63,500 kgs, which is like 136,000 pounds. But this new one it's enhanced, and because of that, and when I was doing the form, I checked the box that says new permit, because it's not a renewal. But I did put down the number of my previous permit, so they know I was on the system, so they don't cause me too much trouble with the specs, you know. They already have all my tires, all my axle spacings, everything. So that's what's happening. Yeah. And and I stopped by the top place. They could not find my paperwork. They could not find my tarps. Actually, I'll be kind of like happy if they lose them, you know. Just give me the money. But no, I'm just kidding. I do need them, especially now with the winter coming. You know, lots of loads will require topping, and if they pay good money, I don't want to lose those tarps. And also, I stopped by Walmart, and I remember that's what I used before. I bought these cheap, you know, door mats. They're pretty cheap. I know somebody mentioned that you can go to like a carpet store and get samples of carpets. But these are, you know, these are just a couple of bucks more, but they're brand new and you can get the same size, you know, like a doormat, right? But what I like is that one side of that mat has a rubber, so it's pretty strong, and it would be cool, you know, to put on something sharp like a load to protect the tarps, you know. So anyway, so now it's time to go and start searching for loads. My favorite Starbucks. I got my breakfast. We're gonna have 2 of these for breakfast. Now I try to buy these because the other ones give me headaches because there's too much chocolate in them. These are oatmeal chocolate chip. These are a bit nicer because I'm allergic to milk. And then for lunch I'm going to that place, Royal Indian Buffet and Sweets. They have a very cool buffet and beef curry. I love that place. It's very cheap. Like I think the lunch buffet is like 13 bucks Canadian, so $10 US. All you can eat. And that's why I need to park your car close by, because you know you can get so full. It's really hard to walk, so probably after I'm done at Starbucks, I'll park my car somewhere close to the entrance so I can, you know, get out and plop down into my seat to digest the food. So thanks for watching. I'll let you guys know when I book something. For now, it's basically back to work, load searching mode. Captain Sergei out.